Good. All right, guys. Thank you all for coming to today's post-match media availability with Pietro Torden and Jenny Emethan. As a reminder, we are recording on our end, and we can distribute once the press conference is ended. Just let me know if you need it. Uh, 15 minutes with our players. You do have the opportunity to ask a follow-up when you're given the microphone, and then we'll make sure to make room for anyone that's joining via Zoom. That said, we can go ahead and get started with our first honorary question, whoever wants it. Okay, Luke's locked in.
Hi, y'all. Congrats on the win. Wondering if you want to get us started with your thoughts on the match.
Yeah, sure. It was a great game. It's fun to play. I think we were being very creative. And yeah, I think we really showed our personality today as a team. Yeah.
Yeah, I think second half we kind of grew into the game a lot more creative. We trusted each other on the ball a lot more, and with that came a lot more opportunities, which was really good to see how everyone connected.
And then Robert has been talking a lot about just like building up your press in media. And I guess I'm kind of curious. I feel like your press and your attack was really strong today, kind of how you've seen that implemented in training and kind of your assessment on how you did today.
Yeah. I feel like with our press today was a little different. I feel like usually we like to step really high and really get aggressive, but today we were kind of holding back, staying compact, and I feel like it worked in our favor, knowing that they always go long. So playing to our advantages, I feel like we adapted great to that. Um, yeah, yeah,
Yeah. I feel like Robert puts a lot of emphasis on knowing that we know how to press and we know how to get after a team and like not to overthink it, but to just do what we feel is best. And if we're all on the same page, then it all works out. So
yeah.
Then Jenny, can you just talk to us about your journey? Because obviously, as a rookie trialist, the way you earned your first few contracts with the team, now you're walking out in front of over 16,000 fans, starting a match at Providence Park. What has all that been like for you, just kind of leading up to this moment?
I mean, it's definitely been super challenging, but there's a lot of belief within the coaches. And for me, my teammates have been super supportive and, they're there with me during practice and, just being able to be like a good teammate through all of it and, cheering on people who play over me, it's not anything that, is a bad thing. It's just something to grow from and watch players in my position and how I can go out there and help the team as best as I can when I do go out there. And I think that, the staff putting belief in me today was just the next step. And yeah, I think it's been challenging, but it's been also so rewarding as well.
Yeah, and then Pietro, can you just talk to us about the dominance of the front four? Everyone had at least one goal contribution today. What does that kind of just lead, especially leading into Cascadia Derby? How much confidence does that give all y'all?
Yeah, honestly, I feel like we all feel pretty confident as a front four. I mean, with Liv, Raylan, Soph. I mean, those are all big names to be playing around, so it's definitely a huge privilege to be playing with them. Um, and yeah, I feel like the more we play together, the more we understand what we prefer. And like for example, in Soph's goal, like a few plays before, I was like, "Oh, do you want me to like support you on this side or this side?" And then she was like, "Oh no, come on this side." And then it all kind of happened. Like we all like me and her kind of were on the same page. So I feel like growing into those relationships has been really cool to see, and getting to know their personalities off the field as well is really special. And yeah, I feel like we just feel really confident as a front four. At least I can speak for myself. I definitely feel very um yeah, just looking forward to next week. And it was definitely a blast today. So yeah.
Congrats on the strong showing coming out of the break. I was just kind of wondering, was there anything that the squad really wanted to reestablish coming out of the break, out of the gates, or was there a certain mentality that you had that there was something you really wanted to show?
I think we took this week to prepare as kind of like a preseason, especially because Robert wasn't there in the beginning. And, just learning each other and getting on the same page with each other, what our strengths are, what our weaknesses are, and how we can make those weaknesses better. And I think that showed a lot during today's game. So
Yeah. I also think we had a great arguably a great first half of the season. And I think Robert has done a great job of emphasizing that that's like not nowhere near enough. Like we can keep pushing. We want more. We can get more out of our performances. And I feel like that's been really encouraging to have, knowing that we can push for more. And I feel like we have been collectively pushing for more in trainings and today as well. Yeah.
And having such a strong showing for the second half here, I was just wondering, like, how much did the earlier loss to Racing Louisville kind of shape the mentality coming into the game?
Yeah, great question. I was definitely looking forward to this game, I will say. Yeah, I will say that definitely struck us pretty hard, at least personally it did for me last game. So coming into this game, I was definitely like, I'm definitely putting my best foot forward today. So, yeah.
Yeah, it was, I mean, obviously watching it from last game, there's a lot of improvement that needed to be happening. And I think today it showed a lot of good things from the team and just a mentality of not dwelling on the past, but, you know, looking forward to how we can continue to grow as a team. And it's more about us than it is about them. So
That's great. That was good.
Pietra, like, last year and then, into this year, we saw the potential you have as a goal scorer, but you're now the leader in the league in assists with 6 after today. So
Damn. I did not know that.
So
hey,
becoming, a playmaker and an all-around playmaker with that front four, just what's that been like in terms of getting on the same page with those the 3?
Man, honestly, I was not expecting that at all. I feel like I just kind of take it day by day. And like I was saying before, like getting to know everybody off the field and creating those relationships. I mean, I could speak for each of those players in the front line that we've slowly started to build better relationships. Me and Raylan have always gotten along pretty well since the beginning when I first got here. And now with Soph, slowly building that relationship. I feel like it's just been pretty, not, I wouldn't say easy, but it's just been fun, fluid, creative. Like I feel like we all kind of are always on the same page as a front line. And yeah.
And then the club announced earlier this week that they are actively pursuing, keeping you here long term. So just what does it mean to you to be able to hear from the team like you're somebody that they want to keep here and be part of this team going forward?
I mean, definitely. I feel like Robert has definitely, like Jenny was saying, he does a great job of instilling belief in his players. And I feel like I've also taken that to heart as well. He's definitely since he got here, has definitely showed that he believes in me, putting me in different positions, and yeah, like just showing that I can be an impactful player. And I feel like having that behind me, and the Thorns in general, the staff, the support staff, like all of them, they're just really just support their players the best the best they can. And honestly, it makes a huge difference. And yeah, like you said, having a big organization like this supporting me just means a lot. And I definitely would love to contribute back as much as I can on the field, which is the only way I can, I guess. But yeah.
Congrats to both of you on a great game. It was so exciting being out there today. With Pietra, you've already surpassed your game minutes for half the season this year over last year. So how does it feel to have so much trust in you and to be played in a lot this season over even doing a great performance last year, but getting half the amount of time?
Yeah, I feel like it's definitely been an adjustment for sure. Like learning how to recover properly has been huge. I feel like with all the midweek games in the first half of the season, it was just a huge priority. It was just to recover. So that's been something new. But yeah, like I feel like again, I really can't emphasize this enough, but having that support behind me has really made this like pretty fluid. And it's not like I feel this crazy amount of pressure. It's like, oh, you're, like, I'm playing all these minutes now, but like I feel like with the support that we have, it just feels, I mean, I feel like I'm getting repetitive, but it just feels so fun. And it's just, yeah, it's just something that, I mean, I love this job. It's like the most privileged position I could be in. And so I just try to enjoy it every single day and just take it day by day. Yeah.
And then I wanted to ask you kind of about watching each other's performances today. So for Pietra, kind of what did it mean to you to watch Jenny obviously getting her first start? You've seen more behind the scenes than any of us have by just being in practice.
Yeah.
Kind of, can you talk about her journey for that?
For sure. Actually, me and Jenny, we've kind of gone along off the field as well. So creating that bond off the field has been really special, and getting to know her off the field has really shown, or I feel like I can get a greater understanding of how much work she does put in on a day-to-day basis to get to the position where she is right now. And it's definitely been very, at least for me, very like I feel very like proud of her for her to be in this position. And like just to watch her grow as a player and kind of like bloom into this player that can very much be a starter on this team and be a very impactful player. And I feel like we saw that today, and we also saw that against San Diego with the assist that she had. Like she's fighting for a spot, and I think that's very special. And yeah, thanks for sure, bro. Yeah.
And then Jenny, can you kind of speak a little bit about Pietro's performance today? Obviously, goals, assists,
Yeah.
whatnot, but just like I thought it was a solid game overall.
No, yeah, it was pretty decent. I think, you know, she's an impact player. I think she makes a difference when she's on the field. And, you know, like that comes from practice too. You know, she shows up every day at practice as well, you know, scoring goals, assisting. And I think it all shows on the field at the end of the day. But it's good also to have that friendship off the field too, because, you know, we believe in each other. And, you know, that belief in your teammates when you get on the field helps so much in terms of support and, you know, being confident and being able to do what you want to do on the ball. So yeah, I feel like, you know, she always shows up for every game, and in practice is the same thing. So yeah, I'm super proud of her.
Oh, great questions, guys. Yeah.
If you, both of you could just talk about the preparation going to this game, because the whole team's moved into the new facility, the grass pitches, things like
Yeah.
that. What has that kind of been like, just to have your own space, you know, just in regards to preparation, and then coming out the way you all did today as well?
Yeah. Again, like I said, with the belief that the Thorns have shown in us, like building this facility for us has really shown that like we have that support. And honestly, I really love the pitches. It's been great to train over there and know that we have our own space. And it's a lot more space than we're used to. So yeah, I feel like it's been awesome.
Yeah, I feel like the amount of money and, you know, resources they've given us gives us a good way to be great on the field. So it's been nice.
You talked about recovery earlier, and I know going into the break, that was a big emphasis of, you know, physical recovery, mental recovery. How helpful was it just to have the month off to prepare for the second half of the season?
Man, great question.
Yeah.
I feel like I could talk about my breaks forever. I mean, I'll just go on a rant about what I did over break. I was, well, since U23s was in Brazil, I was able to stay with my family and see them over there, and that was also like very awesome, very refreshing. And then I went back to Miami to stay with my family. So I feel like in terms of a mental reset, it was just exactly what I needed. I feel like I've always emphasized how family oriented I am, and especially having my siblings out there today, like it's just such a vote of confidence for me. And yeah, I feel like during the mental recovery, it was just really special for me to be near them. And I feel like every time I come out of breaks, I just come out flying, just because I know that they're supporting me, you know, even from afar. But in terms of physical recovery, man, I use a lot of BFR, some boots, drinking a lot of water. Just how it goes.
No, breaks are always good. I think it came at a great time too. I think we started to get a little tired, especially with the 3 game weeks. Like it was brutal watching them try to recover and recover and recover and recover more. But no, it was good, especially to see my family. You know, that's a mental reset in itself. You know, being away from home is always hard, especially as a rookie. I think this has become more like home, but going home and seeing my family is true rest. And I think that allows everyone to come back at its best, at their best always. And in practice, you feel that competitive spirit. Like everyone misses it when they come back too. So, yeah.
All right. Well, that goes ahead. That wraps our time with Jenny and Pietra. So thank you both, and congrats on the win.
Thank you guys.
We'll be back with Robert.
Again.
All right, all right. Welcome to our post-match media availability with head coach Robert Villahamn. As a reminder, we are recording on our end. We can distribute if you need it. 15 minutes. When you have a question, you do have the opportunity to ask a follow-up. That's it. We can go ahead and get started with our honorary first. Here you go, Leo.
Hi, Robert. Congrats on the win.
Thank you.
Wondering if you could start us off with your thoughts on the match.
Yeah, I mean, we have a quite bad start of the game. We knew that they were going to come at there, and they are very direct. So if you want to press them, they're going to kick long, so you cannot really reach them. If you want to fall back, then you're going to give them even more distance to go into our box. So we tried to have a line, we tried to press them, but they won the first duels and they created some chaos for us, and they had a few really good chances. But we spoke about play the game and make sure we handle those phases, because we knew that when we were going to win the ball and get the ball through the lines, we knew that our front four is going to destroy them if we can create that. And I think that's happened in the end of the first half, which was brilliant details from many players, and 3-0. And then you kind of know that you have a really good chance to be better in the second half. And I think if you look second half, that's probably when you see how we want to look in, build up, how we want to make sure we break lines, how we want to create chances. So very pleased with the second half, and also to get that fourth goal and the clean sheet. So overall, very impressed by the players.
And then you kind of alluded to this, but the buildup obviously is something that you've been talking about a lot, and 4 goals, kind of doing something right. Can you?
Yeah, I mean, we do something right. And I think I'm learning this league every week, because you expect in England, when you're a top team, to dominate possession and play through the lines and dictate from minute one. But in this league, you cannot, because every team here have their strength. And for me, it's kind of like to make sure we can get there. How are you doing? Are you angry because England scored 2 goals? Oh, okay. Just lay down, yeah. But yeah, I stopped. I don't know what was the question. No, the build-up was good. The goals are amazing. I think you can look at the quality our players have is kind of, they are top world-class players, and I just feel like I'm just standing there like Petra, Tordin, Sophia Wilson, Olivia Moultrie, Raylan. It's so good quality, and we want to give the space and time for them, and that's why we want to have a good build-up. And when we succeed, it's some brilliant football.
And coach, just kind of going off that, just talking about your front four, everyone had a goal contribution today. You have Olivia Moultrie and Petra Tordin with 10 goal contributions already on the season. How are you getting, just so much production and putting them in places to succeed this season?
I think they get the space because the rest of the players are dictating other stuff in the game. So they build up, try to break lines, they take the rest defense, they take the defense work. So it's a team effort, but we're trying to maximize the team we have. So I don't think you will see Shai doing the dribbles and score those goals. She's taking care of other stuff so they can shine and get the headlines. But I think we should remember the back line and the 6 and 8. Jen is doing her first start, for example, and Mac having another clean sheet. But we're trying to make sure we maximize what you're good at. And I'm trying to find a way of play so I can play the best footballers. And you can see Petra is adapting to this new role, and she's knocking on the national team door now with this quality every time she gets the ball, and you can see that both Liv and Sophia loves to play with her. So I'm trying to find a way to play where I'm adapting my way of playing to make sure I can maximize these super talented players.
Yeah, and then you're talking about this during the pregame was Jenny Emethan potentially starting. What have you seen from her in training, to earn this opportunity? But also, you were talking about the buildup as well. What did you see from the team and just eluding that initial line of pressure as well?
I think the biggest reason we played Jenny today was because she's been very good in the buildup, and she's very stable as a 6. She's staying in that position. First half, they made it hard for us. We wanted to play forward and break lines, but we had to take the fights first. So Jen tried to do that. That's not her biggest strength, but you can tell that she's doing that. Second half, you can see the flow we had when we build and breaking lines in different ways. And I'm so impressed with, she actually takes that free kick when it's a transition, and she can get that yellow card. That shows that she already now is very mature as well. And I think she had a really good game, showing that she is on this level to stay.
Congrats on a great game. This team has probably one of the best attacking lines in the world, if not just only the league. And I was just wondering, is there a position you're the most anxious to fill or enhance during this transfer window?
I will not go for anyone up front four if you're telling you that, because we're also getting Morgan Weaver and Kaya Hanks and Julie to 4 back. So we look very good in those areas. But we are definitely looking at strengthening something in the central area, because we feel like we lost Sam Coffey. We signed very talented players. So I think we still look for someone upcoming talented, but actually also maybe is already in the national team and so on. So you will probably see that it should be one player coming in that is should give us something more to compete.
Awesome. Thank you.
Hey, Coach, what did you learn about this squad in the first half of the season that you think matters most moving into the second half coming out of the break?
I think I knew what kind of players that can do those magic stuff. So finding a way to Petra to play in the left wing, that was something I learned moving her around during the 13 games, because everybody told me that when Sophia's back, Petra needs to be on the bench. She doesn't need to sit there. And she can play a 10 as well, like the last 25 minutes when I choose to actually rest Olivia, which is quite amazing to do that as well. I also learned that maybe we need to have a very good structure in the build-up to make sure I give the players more like the angles and the support with an extra 10 sometimes. But overall, I'm just learning that I coach amazing players, and I'm so happy to do that. So that's the biggest thing.
And just a quick follow-up there. How much did the earlier loss to Racing Louisville help shape the mentality coming into this match?
I think we learn a lot from that game in a way where we sometimes need to understand that we need to close spaces. I think Sarah had a massive idea this game to not only press with all front four, we were kind of keeping the wingers sometimes to make sure we had good balance in the weak sides. And I think that thing made it really good for our fullbacks to make sure we actually had more bodies. And I think that was a brilliant choice by her to do that. The other thing was obviously we knew about their pace, their strength, and I think we were a little bit lucky, but we also defended very well the first 10, 15 minutes because we knew that they cannot do that for 90 minutes. So we were very good at managing the game in that way.
Yeah, and going back to Pietro a little bit, I know, coming in, you probably knew about, Sophia, you knew about Olivia, and the way that Pietra has emerged this year as, not just a starter, but as one of the, better players. She now leads the league in assists. Like, just what's her rise been like, and what have you seen kind of over these first few months of her, emerging so quickly?
She was probably after Olivia Moultrie, when I scouted all the games from last season, I already saw there that, wow, this is a talent. She didn't play all the games, but she did a few goals last year. So Petra was already on my radar, like, how can I use her? And I knew that Sophia's coming back from pregnancy, and I didn't know how quickly she can do that, but I knew that Petra is a player I'm going to like coach. And then when you get to know her, you like her even more because she's very dedicated to development and listening to what you want to do. And during this journey, she's also been very respectful in moving to new positions and adapting to that. That shows me that she's very intelligent as well. So learning now that you also get to know them more is also much easier to coach them. So I think that's hopefully going to be the strengths we have. I get to know them more. I can be more direct to some of them. I need to be a little bit more pushed to some of them, but I think you can see that we have a good roster. We're using the staff, and I think Maddie came on, showed some really good talent, for example, among others. So it's really nice to see that we are growing together.
Jenny talked about the competitiveness and just how happy everyone was to be back after that break. I'm wondering what you saw from your players as they returned back to the pitch, just getting involved in practice and having that mental reset.
Yeah, I think we gave them basically 2 or 3 days extra off because we felt like we had 13 games in short time, new coach, new coaching stuff coming in, like my goalkeeper coach, Jen. So we kind of felt like those 13 games, we pushed everything we could to make sure we maximized and everything. And I think everybody was quite tired of those 13 games. So to get a break and reset and come back with good energy, I also felt that. And I think everybody's still like want to improve. We feel like we're not really dominating the games this far, but everybody's pushing for the next level, which is that vibe is what you want to have, right? So I think they are in a good spot, but we're going to push them even more, and we're going to go through tough times as well. But they're on the same page, which is good.
And then another question about Jenny, obviously getting her first start tonight, but also she's been someone who's been kind of on the bench, sometimes not in the 18. Kind of what growth have you seen from her throughout this first half of the season that we maybe don't get to see? Obviously, we saw Utah right before the break, but
yeah,
besides that,
I think it's sometimes you need time to adapt to college football, to professional football. I think she was one of those I think we signed her on the last day, like, should we keep her? Like, yeah, we keep her. We need one more player, and she's actually very good. But that was more like we keep her to make sure we have another central midfielder in training, and then we work with her and see what will happen with that. And she took steps during the first part, but she also felt like she was inconsistent in taking the decisions on that role. And we had next to Jessie we invested in Cassandra. Basically, we tried to give her the trust to grow into the league, and she was a national team player signed from Norway. But during this journey, she kind of started to compete in training, and then it was more like, when can you do that substitution? And if you see how I'm doing it, I'm normally, it's easier to switch the front line, maybe fullbacks. I've actually done center backs as well, but normally center backs and 6 and 8 is not the place I'm kind of wanted to change during games. So that's why maybe it took a little bit longer for her to show that. But then she's shown every time she come on the pitch that she's doing that. And then from that Utah game, I started to prepare that maybe she should start a game. So that's kind of in training over 3 weeks. We have worked with her in a pathway where she might start against this game today, and then we played her for 45 minutes against San Diego, and it was a good decision as well. And I think she showed today that we are ready to have a good competition in that position.
And then Emma Vignola came out kind of toward the end of the game, looked like she had some sort of contact and then kind of walked away and then went down. Do you know anything about what happened there?
No, it was she was a little bit fatigued in her hamstring. I spoke to her directly afterwards, and she was not concerned, probably cramp, but we're obviously going to check her now and make sure we treat her in the best way. But I'm not too worried about that.
Okay, it seems we're out of questions in the room, so we'll go ahead and end it there. Thank you, Coach.
Thank you.